They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. The Saints are 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've got a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
On 3rd down, Winston. He gets this one complete to Tre'Quan Smith. 10 yards, good for the Saints, first down.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Winston to give, it's Kamara. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Well, this defense for the Falcons, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. The 30, 10, 5. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Harris will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. They'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. One of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you can darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
Again, it's Harris pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. They'll try to run with Harris. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Now Mariota on 4th down. The quick slant caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Kyle Pitts, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Falcons take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Taken at the 15, a short kick.
The Saints take over first down 10 at their own 15-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
On 2nd and 2, Winston. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big-time play there for New Orleans. And even 50 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch at that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Off the play fake, Winston. And this one's incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Jameis to throw it. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. And now they're not going to get the kickoff in time. And that will make this a more difficult prospect. And the first play will be a field goal try. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Lutz is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to win that drive with 4 points in this one-possession ballgame.
Every drive with points. Most quarterbacks will tell us ended with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And it'll come out to the 25 as King opts for the touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. He gets it complete to Harris. Finding room at midfield, down the left sideline. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the C's opened up for him.
Yeah, and this is absolutely a defensive coordinator's worst nightmare as well because they spend all week preaching about the need to wrap up and make sure tackles. But what a letdown here, and it winds up costing them big yardage.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. In motion comes the tight end left. From the red zone now, Mariota. Got Patterson on the quick slant here. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
To throw is Mariota. This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11.
14, Saints 3. Younghoe Koo to kick off for Atlanta.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Pulls it in at the 13.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
That's a good illustration of setting the edge as a defensive end, being able to make sure that you stay on your feet no matter what type of block, and you're not going to get pushed inside. Stayed home, skated to the outside, and made the play.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
Saints, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Kamara try the right side. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Winston. Wide open receiver complete. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 36. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. 15 yards on that play. From the gun, Winston. He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. And that is incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try to pick up another 1st down.
Throwing again. Winston on 2nd and 10. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Now Winston. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he'll be stopped short of the 1st down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. Winston to throw for it on 4th. Got an open man. It's Olave. He's got the 1st down and more than that. Touchdown! Chris Olave. 28 yards. And the Saints' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And it'll come out to the 25 as King opts for the touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The ball.
He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Falcons. Marcus Mariota with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game.
Saints 10.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Saints take over 1st down 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Winston. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Richie Grant. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Koo down for the point after. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Makes the score Falcons 28, Saints 10.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he's only going to get this to the 4-yard line.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
Wait. Hey, let's go.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. On second and a yard, Winston complete to Olave on the out route. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Winston on target to Olave for the Saints first. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Here's Winston. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Mike Edwards picks it off.
Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Mariota's throw pulled in by Milton.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Final play of the half here, Mariota. He's going to air one out. He's got a man, complete.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
The slot man in motion right. On second down, Mariota again.
He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. And they'll send the slot in motion left. A first down throw for Mariota. Got a man. It's Patterson, complete.
On the move past the 40. Down the right sideline. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
A big play there on the catch and run. 51 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. And the slot man goes in motion left. To throw, Mariota. Caught on a slant. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now they'll put a receiver in motion left. Touchdown, Falcons! Kyle Pitts, his 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. And the Falcons take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. A fairly short kick from the 14. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's trying to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late. It wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Working out of the gun, Winston.
Olave over the middle. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. Well, still in the 3rd quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Winston. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Now Winston on 4th down. And incomplete on the deep ball. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
He's got a man complete. Touchdown, Falcons. Damian Harris, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons extend their lead yet again. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Saints 10. Younghoe Koo to kick off for Atlanta.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Winston now to throw on first down. Looking here for Schmidt downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest with a guy with that type of speed. You do so. Send him deep. Try to throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the third quarter, 2nd and 10.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked up by Richie Grant.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
Curry for the extra point.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Makes the score Falcons 49, Saints 10. Younghoe Koo to kick off for Atlanta.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Taken at the 15, a short kick. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time.
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Falcons are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it. I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Slot man moves right. Mariota now to throw on first down.
And complete to Drake London.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
It's another first down as they bite off 23 more on that one.
They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
Mariota's throw taken in by London. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just got to give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd run him out. They tend to leave him in.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
That's going to be caught by Pitts. Touchdown. Kyle Pitts, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Falcons are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
This offense on third down today, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Jameis to throw it. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he's got room. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would have, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. Right back to Pitts again. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
Now, this offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. Now Mariota.
toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That's another gain of 15 on back-to-back plays.
Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start. And pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule, because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants him to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. From the 6. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy, let him pick up the first down.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now.
They run it again with Kamara. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line.
60 yards rushing for him now to this point.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
One last shot now for Winston. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice. Obviously, you're trying.
It's more than a game, don't play with my name. You come with your goons, I'm bringing my game. All of that